Welcome to the Fantasy Football Press Box with your hosts, Scott Fitzgerald and Sean Clemens.
Welcome in, fantasy gamers, to another episode of the Fantasy Football Press Box. It's presented by Sudden Death Fantasy Sports. I'm your host, Scott Fitzgerald. You can find me at Run the Hurry Up on Sleeper. And welcome on in. As you can see, there's no Trader Clem today. We will get to that later, but we have a new special guest today, new to you and old to us. He goes by the Dealer's Back on Sleeper. Very good friend of mine. His name is Ken Moore. He is responsible for over 300 Dynasty Leagues that he manages, and he is joining the Sudden Death family. Welcome in, Mr. Ken Moore.
What's going on, Scott? Thanks for having me.
And just to let everybody know that if Ken just sits back a little bit, you could see that he grew some hair, and he's a huge TJ Hawkinson fan there. And
my guy.
What do you think about Mr. TJ Hawkinson, Mr. Ken? I think he's kind of like a bust.
Well, let's be honest. You've never liked him since Detroit drafted him, but he definitely had a rough year last year. Also doesn't help that his quarterback was absolutely awful. So I'm hoping that JJ McCarthy or whoever comes in for the Vikings helps TJ get back into the top 10.
All right. Well, that's some big standards there. I want to give a shout out to our chat guest, and they're rolling in, and it's Mr. Shadows, who's our Adam Schefter of the show. He gives us all the good insight, the breaking news, some trivia questions. So welcome in, Shadows. So Ken is coming into the Sudden Death team, and he's going to run our Dynasty division, and he's very experienced at doing it. And so what do you think about our Dynasty games?
I'm excited for them just because, one, I just like Dynasty as a whole. Just that, year in and year out, you get to keep the same players and kind of keep building. So I look forward to it and just kind of getting them off the ground. I think we talked that after this podcast, we'll start opening them up to people and getting people in. So whoever's watching, if you want to get into the Dynasty Leagues, send me a message to the Dealer's Back if you want to. But I will be opening these up pretty soon. It's pretty normal Dynasty. First place is 400, second place is 150, third place is $50. Season ends week 15. Excuse me. And then, if you win back-to-back seasons, there's a bonus pot worth $250. And then, if you win 3 seasons in a row, it jumps from there. So, when it comes to Dynasty, we want people to be in it for the long haul. It's kind of fun. I've been in some leagues that have been doing this 10, 12 years, and it's just kind of fun to, still have the same group of guys. And this is the hope that we're going to get out of these Dynasty games.
Awesome. And yeah, we love having you aboard. And we are serious when we say he's in over 300. I've seen his phone. He lives down here in Florida with me, and I scroll through his phone. They're just leagues one after another. So I don't know how he keeps track of it, obviously on spreadsheets, but that's just too much work for me. So he is the guru when it comes to Dynasty, and we welcome him with open arms. So thank you again, Ken.
I appreciate it, Scott. And I'll be on to the viewers who are watching. I'll definitely be on more. But as a financial advisor who also does taxes for their clients, this time of year is very busy for me. So during tax season, I will be on sparingly, but then after tax season, I will be on a more consistent basis.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Love to have more podcast folks on here. We know that you guys probably get sick and tired of looking at my mug and Sean's crazy mug and his flowing.
I would too.
So yeah, so be nice. We're gonna get some different radio personalities on here to entertain you folks. So just to give a little bit of insight on the dinos, again, $50. It'd be $100 up front for 2 years. We do tight end premium, which is a half a point. And then obviously we have the bonus pots for winning multiple years. So definitely looking forward to getting these going. And there's no better commissioner than Mr. Kenmore with his experience in the dynasty field. So I want to get to some news, but I'm going to start with Shadows because he always comes in hot and heavy. And what do you think about this one, Ken? The Cardinals, Kyler Murray has interest in playing for the Vikings.
Well, I hate to say it, but Mr. Smallman, because I don't know if he can still see over. He can't see over the offensive line. I hate to say it, but I think really anything's better than J.J. McCarthy. But, I mean, I'm not a big Kyler fan. I never have been. I never will be. I mean, if it happens, I would feel better about all the weapons on the team for the Vikings. But, I don't really see J.J. McCarthy being the quarterback right out of the gate. I think they bring in a veteran who's been doing this for him to learn from.
Yeah, well, I think if anybody can turn Kyler's career around, it's definitely Sean's face cousin over there in Minnesota. So we'll see how that all plays out. One more quick nugget here from Shadows. He says Browns tight end David Njoku announces he won't be returning to the team and will leave in free agency. So wheels up for Harold Fannin Jr., which is awesome because I'm super stoked on that guy. So that opens up him. And then Njoku, is there any teams like off the top of your head that you think could use a tight end? Because Njoku is an athletic freak.
So I love this. I think Njoku, honestly, a lot of his career has been wasted with the Browns because the Browns are just awful and they suck, and we all know that. He is an athletic freak. I think, there are a couple of teams right out of the gate that I think will go after him. I think one could be Miami because they have absolutely no one now, because it's going to lead into my next point where Shadow just posted that about Reek. I also think the Patriots might go after him. They got two old tight ends that are easy cut candidates with Hooper and Henry. So I could honestly see him there because Vrabel made a comment at the end of the season that they need younger playmakers. I like Njoku. I think he could go there. And I think those are the two on my top that I could see him go that would make sense. So, and I also see what Shadow wrote, maybe Carolina. I do like that one because they don't really have anyone there.
Yeah,
so I think he would be.
But I like the fit in Carolina if they can.
I do too. I think that would definitely help spread the ball around more and kind of take opposing defenses off the wide receivers a little bit.
Yeah, no, I like that for sure. Titans wouldn't be bad either, but they got Chiggy there, so it kind of.
I like Chiggy.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of like the same build, same body, same like, outside like tight end, like a move tight end. So it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, we're gonna get into like the next player, and Shadows obviously put in their Tyreek Hill. And this is interesting because I think there's a market for him, especially with teams like I'd say Buffalo for sure, stretch the field. What about him possibly going back to Kansas City? Or how about this one? He gets to reunite with his old coach, one Mike McDaniel, which is the offensive coordinator of the LA Chargers.
So I could definitely see him going back to the Chiefs. I don't think Reek would go to the Bills because the Bills haven't just an overall issue on the offensive side of the ball. I think they're gonna have to do a lot with trades and drafting some wide receivers because Keon Coleman ain't the guy. I know wherever Sean is right now. I remember at the beginning of last season he said that that was their guy. So I also don't know. I don't see him going to the Chargers because you already have Quentin Johnson, you already have McConkey, you already have Allen, you have the tight end. They already got a lot of playmakers there. They need to work on the other side of the ball. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because I think Reek wants to get back to being a high performer. So I don't see with Tyreek's injury history him going to the Bills. So I think I'd be shocked if it's anywhere but the Chiefs.
Got you. Now I had two other guys on the list, but I want to get to this one though, because now that you're here and you live in Tampa with me, what are we doing with Mike Evans?
So I really wish Evans would come back to the Bucs, but I don't think he does. He's done a lot for Tampa, and Tampa loves Mike Evans, but Tampa Bay has too many playmakers just as a whole. And their defense, quite frankly, is just awful. So they need to put money on the defensive side of the ball because we do have some very good playmakers. So I think it's less than 50% of Evans coming back. I think if he does go anywhere, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Chiefs, the Bills. And this is my long shot because I do have New England in me. I think
I was going to say, I knew
he would go to the Patriots.
I knew you were going to say Patriots.
I know.
So I would be devastated if Mike Evans left Tampa.
Yeah, I don't want him to.
My favorite player.
I don't want him to, but if you just hear what the consensus here, it's just like week in and week out, the Bucs D just can't hold. And we already got Bucky, you got Ibaka, you got Godwin, you have McMillan coming back from his neck injury. So you do have a lot of playmakers. And the other thing is the Bucs need a tight end, but there's a lot of rumors that the Bucs are actually going to try to draft a tight end instead, so they can use those funds elsewhere. Because I guess Cade is projected to get around $10 million, and respectfully, I don't think the Bucs should be spending that on Cade. So I think they need to put it elsewhere.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, what about Doo Brown, Mr. AJ Brown? What are we doing with him? Where's he going? I'm looking at possibly same thing, Bills, Chiefs, and how about this one? I think this would be a really good fit. How about playing with Lamar?
That would be a nice offense. Henry, Flowers, Brown. That would be awesome. I think AJ would probably go to the Browns, or where I have him right now.
The Ravens?
Yes, I'm sorry, the Ravens. There's also been talks about him going back to the Titans, which I saw some reports on that, and I was like, no way.
No way.
I don't think he would go to the Chiefs, and I think I could see the Bills making a play for AJ. Now, on the flip side of that, if AJ gets traded, Devontae Smith's value skyrockets.
Oh yeah.
Because Goddard's also a free agent too.
Yeah, some of our early best balls that we've been running, Smith's been like screaming up the draft board.
Yeah.
People are assuming that Brown's going to be gone. What would you give up for Brown? Shadows asks. What's his market value right now? I mean, I think he's going to be age 29. He's had some knee issues. Some analysts say he's declining. I don't see it. I mean, I'm an eye test guy. He's a monster. But yeah, he is getting a little up there, but I could see him in the Mike Evans trajectory, playing till he's 30, 31. So I think if he went to the right team and he was excited to play for them, I could see another three seasons. Now, I'm not talking elite production, but
no, I hate to say it.
He's solid number 2.
I think he'll be solid for the next couple of years, but I don't think AJ Brown's going to be that number 1 that we kind of have expected from him the last couple of years. What would you give up for Brown? Or are we talking what in the NFL? Are we talking fantasy or dynasty wise?
Well, you're a dynasty guy. What about dynasty? What's his value at right now? Since you're on here, you're a dynasty guy.
Now, if I'm buying or selling, it's a completely different conversation. If I'm buying, I'm probably going to buy him for a mid-first still. I still put AJ Brown up there for wide receivers. Now, I think it just depends. And this is the issue sometimes with dynasty and rookie drafts. It kind of depends on where some of these rookies fall too, because I could, Miami, for example, only has Waddle and that's it, right? So if a rookie goes there, I'd feel pretty good. But I would put him at a mid-first still. for where his value is. But seeing what Shadow said for NFL wise, I don't think anyone's going to pay a first for him, right? So
No.
I would say I could see a late second pick.
Yeah, late second,
Yeah.
Maybe like a third in a player, something like that.
I think if I'm sitting in the Eagles' shoes, right, he's under contract, it has to make sense for them to trade him, right? There has to be a player there that either replaces him or it doesn't make sense for them to trade him, because with how that team is built, year in and year out, they want to compete. They're not going to rebuild, right? So it's going to have to make sense for them to trade him.
Yeah. Now for him moving on, it's not a performance issue.
Mm-mm.
It's the Jalen Hurts issue.
Yeah, AJ is just very vocal about it.
Yeah, they can't get along. So if they can't get along, and they're obviously not going to get rid of the quarterback. They're going to move on from the receivers. So it's not a declining problem, and that could, that's why it has to be the right fit for the next quarterback. If he went to the Ravens, is he going to be fine with Lamar?
So that's the thing. I think AJ wants the ball, right? That's been his issue with Hurts. He wants the ball. So who's going to get him the ball for quarterbacks that are out there? Lamar makes me nervous because I don't think he would get him the ball, right, as much as he wants, right? Because you still have Flowers, you still have Henry, you still have Andrews as a kind of a safety net. I think if I'm in AJ Brown's shoes, there's only one team that makes sense for me that's still a contender and that will get me the ball, and that's the Bills.
Yep, I agree 100%. You go and play with Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen is looking for somebody to get the ball to.
Yeah, exactly. Because if he goes to the Bills, Shakir, who really is a number 2 on a team, not a number 1, AJ Brown fits in perfect. If he goes to the Chiefs, right, I'm a big fan of Rice. Yes, he has the off-field issues, but I still think Rice is very, very dynamic. Then we just talked about the Ravens. I don't know. I just think for me as a contender and where he slides in the best, it is the Bills.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the Bills have been fooling around for years with their draft picks. They can't get it right. Just go out, pay this guy. You're not going to have to give him just a complete, chest full of money. I mean, it's not, you don't have to pay a top dollar for him. I mean, it's
right.
going to be, a decent contract, but it's not going to break the bank. And, in the Bills lost, I know Sean's not on here, so I can just keep ripping the Bills all I want, but they lost their opportunity this year. This was the year they were supposed to make it to the Super Bowl. Everyone was out of the playoffs that they had to go through, and they couldn't get it done.
No, they've dropped the ball on the wide receiver position in Buffalo. I'm a fan of Kincaid. He does what he's supposed to do. He's a safety net. He's good. Is he a top tight end in the league? No, but he kind of reminds me of Goddard a little bit. James Cook, very good running back, does what he's supposed to do. Good rusher, good receiving back. Very good there. Wide receivers, Shakir, that's it. No one else. So, Allen can only do so much. So they're going to have to do something this offseason or during the draft to get them someone.
Got you. All right, one last guy. And I've never really been a fan of this guy. I just think he's a little overrated. But coming out of retirement, Mr. Derek Carr. Really, there's a few spots I'm looking at. One sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's Minnesota. Okay, go to Minnesota. JJ's been awful. Also, I'm looking at what does Pittsburgh do? Is it going to be Rodgers? Are they going to go young? They could bring in a Derek Carr. If Rodgers decides he doesn't want to come back, Carr can mentor the younger quarterback, that kind of thing. And then one that's like a kind of a long shot is in Atlanta. He knows the division, and Penix is still, the jury's still out on him. What do you think about one Derek Carr?
So I'm actually surprised you didn't say a place on your list.
Well, you tell me.
I'm surprised you didn't say Miami. And the only reason I say that is because what do they have to lose, right? They're a rebuild team, right? So why not bring in a lot of young guys? They have a lot of draft picks, right? So why not draft a lot of young guys, have Carr mentor all of them, and go there? I'm not saying that's my number one spot for him, but I'm just saying I think Miami could be a place to go. I think Rodgers goes back to Pittsburgh because of McCarthy.
Yeah.
But if I'm Carr, I probably do go to Minnesota if that opportunity opens up, because you got a whole lot of talent across the board, minus the running back position. But that's a place that I would probably go if I'm Carr. And honest, so this is where you and I will disagree. So I'm glad the old days are coming back where you and I still disagree on players. I think Derek Carr has been, I don't know what the word is, but I don't think Carr is as bad as people think. I think he's been in bad situations with bad teams that have not helped him succeed. I'm not saying Carr is a great quarterback. I will never say that. I think he is a usable quarterback. And I think that's more me talking from a fantasy aspect than it is from real life. But I don't think Carr is as bad as you think he is, but I know you've hated him since day one.
I mean, I agree. I think he's usable. But if I'm Derek Carr, I'm not coming out of retirement and getting my brains beaten in every week in Miami. I'm coming back and I'm playing for a team that could potentially make the playoffs or is on the cusp. I'm not going to a rebuilding team, So that's why I think that a team like Minnesota, a team like Atlanta, obviously with Pittsburgh now with McCarthy, that's probably would be third on my list. But Atlanta makes sense because of the division. He knows the teams. And then, like I said, Minnesota is just, they're having.
But I also don't know if he wants to be in that division.
Pardon me?
I don't know if Carr wants to be in that kind of division.
It could easily be one. There's no front runner team. So, that team right there's, any team in that division it's wide open. Going into next year, if I'm putting my money on a team to win the division, I'm taking the Panthers. I think the Panthers are good enough now to win that division. So,
no, don't say that. I want my Bucks.
So.
I want my Bucks to be.
I know. I want the Bucks too, but living in Tampa, they're like my second favorite team. But as of right now, the way I'm looking at it, I do like the Panthers out of that division. So, well, let's hit it a couple more questions.
Shadow makes a good point.
Yes. Oh, you want to go to the David Carr one?
Yeah, just because that is a good point. I always forget about the Cardinals. I kind of forget that they exist in the NFL because they never do anything. That's a good point. I could see him go there, except my only issue with that is like, I don't know if that's like the spot where that would be best for him, right? If you're going to go somewhere, just because I don't know who, like, I think Vikings would be number one. I think Cardinals are just a tough place to go.
Yeah. Cardinals would be like, he's from Fresno. He played college at Fresno. So, I could see him going back to the West Coast and somewhere where it's not cold and, it's in a dome and kind of going back to that side. But it'll be interesting because I think this also brings up another point is if you think Tua is done in the league, right? Because he's not playing with Miami anymore. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done. I don't think he's done because everyone's starving for quarterbacks. And
exactly.
They're going to give him a chance. Somebody's going to give him a chance to win a job. They're not. I don't think someone's going to bring Tua in and be like, "Here's the keys to the Cadillac." They're going to say you're going to come in and compete. And you're either going to make the team as a starter, you could make the team as a backup, or you could be a cut candidate.
Yeah.
So it's nothing's guaranteed for Tua, but I don't think he's out of the league. And yeah, Shadows makes a good point. Last time Cardinals made the playoff was 2021. But I do want to go back to this point over here because I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, I did see that.
I've been saying this for when he was drafted into the league.
So here's my issue with this. Who on that team took a huge step back last year?
Well, obviously it's Brian Thomas Jr.
Right. So I think it's tough, right? So you sign Myers to a contract extension.
Which I like. I love Jacoby Myers.
I've always been a fan since his days in New England.
And that's what proves, and this looks like, not to cut you off, but this proves Shadow's point, where I thought all along Travis Hunter should just be playing corner. He's, quit messing around with this receiver stuff and just stick to a cornerback.
So here's my thing, right? So I hope that's the case because I want Brian Thomas Jr. to come back and actually be like the player he was his first year in the league, right? Because last year he took a massive step back. I hope he does just because of that aspect. I don't have a lot of Travis Hunter because, I mean, let's be honest. I don't like when a guy says that he's going to play both sides of the ball in the NFL because you never can really kind of see how his value is going to be. So I hope he does stay cornerback and they just feed Brian Thomas Jr. and Myers.
No, I agree 100%. All right, Ken, was great talking to you. I'm glad you popped on, but Ken's got a financial meeting to go to.
I do. But thanks for having me on. I look forward to being on more often. And like I said, anyone who wants to start getting in the games before I start posting them out to everyone and inviting people, send me a DM to the dealer is back on Sleeper, and I will send you an invite to the leagues.
Awesome. Well, he's the best in the business. The dealer's back, Mr. Ken Moore. Until next time, Kenneth, you're out of here. All right, all. Kenneth is gone, but he is definitely the best in the business when it comes to Dynasty. He's helped me build a lot of my Dynasty teams, and he does a great job at it. And like I said, I don't know how he handles all those. So we are going to have Psyborg out in a little bit. He's going to go over his March Madness pool, so we'll wait for that. But I want to get into why Sean is not here. And if you look up in the corner up here, we have that nice, beautiful FSGA member logo. We are officially part of the FSGA. If some of you don't know what the FSGA is, it's the Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association. And he's out there schmoozing it with fellow members. And I'll give you a little breakdown, some bullet points on the FSGA. So I'm going to hit my other screen, but it's basically unbeatable networking. Meet the businesses, founders, pioneers, thought leaders, and content creators leading the explosive growth of our dynamic industry. So we'll be rubbing elbows, getting networking with the people that have already been there, have already done it, and we feel that for our growth, it's huge to learn from the people that have already done it. Cutting edge research, gain access to exclusive industry research, including demographic and behavioral data on worldwide and fantasy sports and gaming players. So obviously marketing, where to promote, who to promote, how to get, your gamers from different areas. So that'll be super helpful from us when we get into the marketing. And then basically the elevator pitch, investor pitch, up and coming fantasy and sports gaming businesses, entrepreneurs pitch innovative ideas to industrial leaders, venture capital firms, from development, growth, and investment opportunities. So we'll go in there, pitch what we have to offer, and companies, they may want to invest, they may want us to invest with them, all kinds of certain ideas going forward. So it's we're super excited. I wasn't able to make it out this year. Definitely want to go next year, but Sean's out there. The conference is Tuesday and Wednesday. If you want more information, you just go to the FSG, type in FSG on Google, and he's out there right now swinging the clubs with Dick, who's part of Lightning Leagues, and they do fantasy gaming. They have they're like a couple years ahead of us. So the most important thing for us is we want to learn from these people. And we don't want to make the same mistakes or avoid the pitfalls and stuff like that. So it's people are really encouraged to help each other in the community. Oh, here's Psyborg. Let's try to get him in real quick. There we go. What's up, Psyborg?
Hey, what's going on? How's it going, man?
Good, perfect timing. Ken just got off. I was going over the FSGA where Sean's at. So yeah, just to, finish my point. Yeah, that's Sean's out there. What's up, Lilitz? Lilitz is in chat. What's going on? And we're really excited. We think that's going to be really good for our brand, and just make sure that we do everything in the up and up. We're in the, right on the do everything legally correct. and that way the gamers know that not only they're getting a good experience playing with us, but everything's done legally and they don't have to worry about getting in trouble if, and their funds being safe. So super excited about that. And yeah, it should be, I can't wait to get all the details back from Sean. So Cyborg,
where is this taking place? Where is this taking place again?
In Las Vegas, and that's where Sean lives. So it was easy for him to go there. And yeah, like I said, next year I'll make it out there. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. They have actually a winter and summer session. So I don't think we'll be able to make the summer session because that'll segue into my next point. That'll be where the Fantasy Football Expo is in Canton, Ohio next year, which we will be attending. We'll have a booth. Should be super exciting. First time we've ever been there. I've been to the Hall of Fame. Awesome bucket list thing for anybody that's loves football. It's definitely worth checking out. So, yeah. So other than that, how you been, Cyborg? Good.
Oh yeah, doing good. A busy day at work today. For a medical technician like myself, it was not a holiday today, but it was for everyone else. And of course, everybody else wants to come in on a holiday. Weird, I know. I've never had that feeling myself. On a holiday, I am not looking at going to a doctor's office all day long. Not me. I'm wanting to barbecue and stuff, right? I don't get it. But anyway. So it's been a long day, and I just came home, took off my scrubs, got my Dallas Cowboy shirt going.
There you go. Yeah. So how do you like the best ball leagues? I know we launched some of our best ball leagues. I know you're in a few of them.
Oh yeah, man. To me, I don't know, man. To me, it's so damn early. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I'm like, man, I don't know where these people are going to be in just a couple months, much less, 9 months from now. It's just, I've never done them this early. So it's going to be interesting. Now, I do have some experience with doing them early, but that was ones that started up in like late April or May of last year, as you know. And and of course, those early ones that I didn't get nothing, man. It didn't come close.
Yeah, and the reason why we do these early best ball leagues, one, they're $5, they're cheap. And
yeah, no, it's fun. It's still fun. The fun of it is, the fun of drafting and all that, and getting to talk and stuff like that. It's still fun, So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, and like I said, it keeps your mind engaged, and it's funny because at the end of the year, because I've done early drafts too in the past, and it's funny at the end of the year, I'll look back and I'll be like, God, what were you thinking, man? By these guys, man, they're not even playing, So I noticed one thing I did this year, and I stayed away from the rookies. I didn't, because I don't know where they're going. So I'm like, I'm not drafting any. I'll let somebody else do it. If they hit, which is the hit rate is like not the greatest, unless you're like maybe a top 2 guy or something. But all them other guys, they're lucky if they see the field in year 1 or even do anything. So
I'm not an analyst of any kind, as you know, but it just feels like that the ones that really break out and everybody's like, whoa, and he was like not even drafted, just picked up on free agency because they needed a spot, and this person got injured, he got put in, and bam, and I've seen more. It seems like more of those have happened versus the well ahead planning, like this player is going to do well, and then they end up not even playing or something happening. Who was that? Tank Dell? What happened to Tank Dell? What the hell? Yeah. I mean, 3 years ago he was like way up there, way up there in the rookies.
Pounds. Yeah, that's my thing too. Is I don't draft any players like sub 190. You got to be like 190 or more. I will refuse. So, how about you give us a little result of your you did your playoff bracket, the NFL playoff bracket. Do you have the winners?
Let me see. Let me check it out here.
Because I've been looking. I seen that you paid out, which was nice.
And yeah. No, I got the winners. Let me see if I put it in my notes here.
And the Tank Dell injury was bad. Shadows brought it up, but yeah, I think he, from what I remember, and I may be wrong, Shadows, you can let me know, but did he tear 2 ACLs and break his leg? I mean, it was like just a gruesome injury. And, it just, some guys just, are just not built to play in the NFL. I mean, it's a violent sport, and these guys are bigger, faster, stronger. They're running at each other just way faster at full speed, and it's a very, very violent game, and it's hard for these guys to stay healthy. So, but yeah, I noticed that your playoff bracket pool finished, and then we are going to the Psyborg's. He runs all our pools here at Sudden Death, so his next big pool is going to be our March Madness pool, which
March Madness, yep.
Is by far, I'm going to let you people know, Cyborg's March Madness pool is the best on Sleeper. He gets the most players. It's run awesome, and there's other ones out there, but he gets the most traffic, and it's run awesome. So I really appreciate you running that March Madness pool. And last year you were up to what, like $7,000?
Yeah, right at $7,000. Yeah.
And this year we want to push 10K. Like, we want to get there. So we're really, really going to push it. And it's so much fun. I'm a huge college basketball guy. Love March Madness, and just so pumped to get it going. And actually, before we came on, I went to look to see if Sleeper opened up the brackets, and they didn't do it yet. Just too early.
Not yet. I've been checking daily.
I know we're all just fiending for it, but
I've been checking daily. I'm ready to go with it, man. So yeah, I see. But yes, March Madness. My pool is going to be called Hotter Than Hell. For those oldies like me out there, that's named after a Kiss album back in 1974 of the same name. Is why I came up with the name. But now it's grown into this, so I've kind of dropped that theme and made it more of a devilish. Anyway,
it's a good logo.
It fits because you're really sweating it out during the first round, and then you make it. You're looking good the first round, then the second round happens, and you're like, because that's what happened to me the past 2 years, man. I first round I'm great at for some reason, but the second round is my roadblock big time. So I don't know. Anyway, but it's going to be $20 for the first bracket. $10 for each additional bracket. You can do up to three brackets, so $40 total for 3 brackets if you want to do that. The odds of hitting the top 5, which I usually do the top 5 and by percentage, and the probability of having 3 versus 1, of course, is better. But I have seen winners. I have seen winners at one bracket and beat everybody. So, and I'm like, dude, how did you know that game would go that route? Because that was totally favored the other. You know what I'm saying? Those kinds of games, the upsets are what really kills people. But yet there's always people out there that know.
Yeah.
So it's always amazing. It's a lot of fun to follow along. Even, you don't have to know that lot about college basketball. Sleeper provides with the player profiles. A little bit of information. I do recommend going to other options to get some other options. What's a good one? Fantasy Pro. Fantasy Pro is not really good on basketball, but there are other options out there, and you don't have to go deep. You just have to see what the experts are saying. What are they saying on this particular game, and how are they saying it, and stuff like that. You can make a quick decision just without even knowing what's what. So, because I started out that way. The first year I did that, man, I didn't know nothing about them. I went strictly by what Sleeper said at that point. I was like, I'm just having fun. I don't care. And it was a free one at that time. I just opened one up for free, just to try it. And so I liked it, and I'm like, oh dang, this is kind of interesting. Okay, let me see, what can I do with it next year? And so boom, here we are 5 years later. This will be the fifth season that I've run this particular pool. And when I open it up, y'all will know it because I'll put the link everywhere. So
yeah. So where can they find the link? Like, it's gonna be in your Discord, correct? And then
it's gonna be on my Discord channel, or Discord server, I should say. Anybody watching that's in my now leagues on Sleeper, I'll post them in all my Sleeper leagues. Including last year's Hotter Than Hell pool. I still have that going, and I'll let everybody know. For some reason, I hope they fix this, and I'm hoping that that's what I'm gonna look for when they open up the Mania. is you can renew. Right now, you can't renew a pool. You can renew leagues, but you can't renew pools. So all those people, you lose all those people. You got to just start a new pool and tell everybody in the old pool, hey, come over here. Here's the new, it's it's a mess. It just creates more work. So I hope they really I've been asking for that for 3 years now. So it's a simple code. Come on, man. You can do it in like 10 minutes. I mean, just get some, fix it. But, but that's it. Yeah.
We'll definitely be promoting it very hard. I'll be promoting it in Discord. I'll be promoting it in the sleeper chat. So you guys will definitely see it when it comes time. It's going to be all over the place. And
absolutely,
like I said, Psyborg's the best in the business. And I've been playing in it for, I think this might be my 3rd year, and it seems like we get bigger and bigger every year. So I'm not giving away.
Oh, here's a funny story. Here's a funny story.
But yeah, go ahead.
So like year 3, this was a couple years back, so year 3 was the big explosion in my pool. And I'll tell you when the explosion happened. It was going pretty steadily the first few weeks, and up till about a week or so before, and then a few days before, it was a little increase. It was still manageable. Oh, this guy paid, let me mark it down. Boom, done. Wait a couple of hours, another one would pay, blah blah. But I tell you what, the morning of is when everybody joins, and like a big explosion. And I was at work that particular morning, not expecting that. And when it comes to people's money, I make sure to write it down immediately or record it immediately to make sure, or find a way to remind myself to record it at a later moment. I don't want to let it go fast, because the more people pay, the more you get behind. So, and I know that's important, keeping up with people's money. So I make sure I want to pay full attention when every payment comes in to make sure it's going, you got to match the names, you got to match the league safe name with the sleeper name. So, you got the right person matched. Otherwise, you don't know if they win, where does it go? I don't know, so, but other than that, I was stressing at work, and luckily it was a slow morning, because I got to sneak back in the back room on my own station I'm usually at. And I was just sitting there like, the boss wasn't there that morning or nothing. So I was just like, God dang, I'm glad I got to take off next year. So from that point forward, I take off that particular morning, the whole day. I take a personal day, and to make sure I get it done right. Now, last year was pretty manageable. I was surprised, it was a few payments came in, but not a flood of them like that 3rd year. That 3rd year was just, I think just the last hour, I had record like 50 payments. I mean, they were just 3-4 coming in at a time, and I had to make sure to acknowledge it and all that stuff, because I try to acknowledge on the chat everybody's payment, not just for their sake, but for my sake too. Did I record the payment? Oh yeah, I acknowledge it. So that if it ever came to that, so I try to take all precautions, and but still, and it's a lot of fun. I'm telling you, running a big pool like that is way more time consuming than running a 12-man football league. So I'm just, you want to make it, because at the end, everything's got to add up, beforehand. And then at the end, it's all got, the payouts got to match up and add up. And I've only had them not add up one time. It was a $20 difference. And I'm like, I got to find the $20, because where's this $20? Why does it say this? Went over it 3 or 4 times, went on League Safe, checking the history everywhere. I found it. It was my mistake. So I am capable of mistakes sometimes. So, but anyway, that's it. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, you're good. But that, like I said, it's awesome. And besides fantasy football weekend, when we all draft with our buddies, and we all know when that is every year, to me, the Thursday and Friday opening rounds are like my second favorite time of the year. When I was working, I would always take half days on Thursday and Friday to make sure I'm home for the games. And it's super exciting. You're watching games all day. And I was out there one year in Vegas. I was out there for Thursday and Friday. Talk about chaotic. I mean, that was crazy. But yeah, looking forward to that. It's even going to be more exciting this year, because my Wolverines are tomorrow should be ranked number 1 in the country, and that's awesome. So this is the best Wolverine team I've ever seen, even better than the Fab Five. They're so deep, 1 through 9. They're they're going to be a tough out in the tournament. So as long as they stay healthy, I'll be pulling for them. And one of those brackets that I have with you, Psyborg, is definitely going to be a Wolverine win. So I'm already letting you know. So I'm not giving everybody my secrets away. So
okay, now you're talking about NHL. NHL, is that what we're?
No, we're the March Madness.
Oh, March Madness. Okay.
My Wolverines. Well, you will be doing a hockey pool too. You know,
yeah, that was my segue. That was my segue, actually.
Segue?
Thank you.
Okay. Run on
yeah, I'll be running an NHL playoff pool as well this coming April. First time, so I'll be doing that along with an NBA playoffs pool as well. So, you know, the pools are just you know, easier to manage versus a bunch of leagues going on at one time, and I just like the. And plus, I'm participating in a bunch of other leagues, yours and a bunch of other folks. So you know, it keeps me busy, and I love it. I love it. You know.
Yeah. All right. So Shadows has a quick question. What team will have a good 26-27 season in the NFL? My prediction is the Giants. They'll have a healthy Neighbors, Scadaboo, and new head coach John Harbaugh. I agree with you, Shadows. I think the Giants are going to make a really big leap this year. And don't forget Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart in our best ball leagues has been going in the mid-second round in the Superflex. So I know
I've seen that. Yeah,
I know I picked up a share of him because I think he's going to have a tremendous year. He's got an awesome floor with his rushing. Harbaugh's going to do a great job with him. And also they have Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm a big Wan'Dale Robinson guy. I think he's going to complement Neighbors really good in that offense. And you know, I'm not saying the Giants are going to make the playoffs, but you know, I think they're going to be a very, very well improved team, and their defense is really good too. They got some good young players on the defense, so I like that call, Shadows, with the Giants. You know, I'm trying to think of another team, maybe off the top of my head, that maybe didn't make the playoffs last year. I mean, God, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to go with I'm going to, like I said earlier, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I know they made the playoffs, but I think they're going to do a lot better. I think they're going to make one more. I think they're going to get in the playoffs and they're going to get a win. If they win that division, they'll get a home game, and I think they can win year one. But your Cowboys, they're going to score a lot of points, but man, are they going to give up a lot of points on defense? Man, that's going to go in that division. Yeah. And I expect another big year out of Dak. Looks like they're probably
this will be our year, man. This will be our year.
Jerry always says it's your year. So it's always your guys' year. You know.
Yeah, I gave up on that a long time ago. So yeah.
But no, it's you know, it should be a really good year. You know, I'm always excited for football. This time of the year, it's kind of a lull. We don't, you know, really have a lot to talk about till free agency and then the draft and stuff. So that's why we keep ourselves busy with best ball. You know, we draft our best ball teams and it just gives us something to do. But other than that, it's going to be a quick show today. Like I said, not really a lot going on until free agency picks up. You know, like I said, we're proud members of the FSGA now, and I'm super happy about that. So you'll know, playing with us in good hands in the future. You'll be playing with the right group because we're going to do everything between the lines. You know, we're not going to cut any corners, and we're going to learn from the best. And we're really excited with potential partnerships down the road. You know, and we're just really super excited. I'm really excited to hear what Sean has to say when the expo or when the convention's over with. So anyways, for my new co-host Psyborg, I'm Scott, run the Hurry Up on Sleeper, and until next week, folks, we are out.